And you two, you guys ready?
Yeah.
You two, y'all tell me when you're ready. Good job. Kevin Hester?
Yeah, what was the film session like on Sunday following that Duke game? Jeff Collins was talking about it a little bit yesterday, but from your vantage point, what was that session like? What were some of the main themes that were brought up?
Obviously in the first half we were just dominating, and then the second half it kind of went off the rails a little bit. But as a defense, we talked. I think it's more of an internal thing, like with communication. But I have full faith in us. It's just little communication things we have to figure out, but we're working on that now, and we're better than then.
Yeah. Did you feel that there's anything different from those first 3 games communication-wise compared to maybe last game, the last 2 games that like kind of changed? Are you trying to like get back on track? Do you feel like there was any sort of difference between the first 3 and the last 2?
Like I said, with communication again, like when we get versus our first game, like our communication, we was playing fast, talking, the whole defense on the same page, and like we showed like we dominated. And like the last couple games that we had, it was just like we had little faults here and there, but like nothing now. Like we working on it and we got it fixed.
Kevin, Coach Brown and Coach Collins were in here yesterday talking about how to sort of improve, how to sort of teach the guys on defense that the opponent's going to make some good plays in the football game. It's just going to happen.
100%.
But the challenge is not to let that play snowball into 2 good plays, 3 good plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a sort of a mental skill. So how do you practice that before game time?
Yeah, so that's hard to practice. It's more of a mentality thing, I feel like. I think when they make a good play like that, you have to have short-term memory on to the next play. Like you just said, like they're going to make good plays. So the most important part, learn from that play when you get back on the sideline, but when you end the game, you just have short-term memory, play that next play, make sure it doesn't like a snowball effect.
Matt called that frustration yesterday. He says he can see frustration in you guys when a couple of bang plays happen. And because there is a history of it kind of snowballing, like you say, going off the rails, that sometimes might affect you guys psychologically when you're in the field, if you will. Is that so? And if a team hits a couple of 10, 15, 20-yard plays, and it feels like it has at times in the past, is that difficult to battle internally?
It's a little bit frustrating for sure, just because like I know the guys that we have on the team, like we have dogs, real dogs, and just to see them make plays like that off of like a little fault, like just like a little miscommunication, like that hurt a little bit. But like I said, short-term memory, watch film, learn from it, move on.
Were you a little bit surprised that happened with you guys? It happened with JMU and in the second half of the day, because through the first 3 games, it looked like you guys were much cleaner defensively, and it didn't seem like that wasn't something people would have projected would have happened.
Yeah, no, that's a hard one. It's just, I don't know. I don't have to answer that one. It's just something we got to work on, like our mentally. But like I said, like we have dogs, so we just gonna get that fixed and then, move on from there.
Coach Collins was really praising your leadership ability out there on the field, specifically without Kanan out there for the past few weeks. Was it challenging for you to take on that mantle with a leader like Kanan out, or is that something that you just naturally gravitate to?
I feel like it's a more naturally thing. Like when you see something like going bad, it makes you want to step up more as a leader. It doesn't like make you want to shy away from it. I feel like times like that really brings it out of me, that wanting to be a leader. Like we're really big on being a player-led team, and I feel like that's a great challenge for us to like actually show that. So I feel like it's more definitely a natural thing.
How has the morale been at practice this week after 2 losses?
It was definitely a tough 2 losses, but like I said, everything, something bad that happens, something good has to come from it. So we just learned from those 2 games and we move on. Like our morale in practice was very upbeat, but we're a brotherhood. Like, we got to stick together and move on and learn from each other. We play for each other for sure.
Pitt runs it well. They throw it well. They got a young quarterback you guys haven't seen before. What is the key to stopping them? You got to stop that run, or you got to get after the quarterback? If there's a 1A and a 1B, what would 1A be?
For defensive line, definitely a run game and gap discipline. I know they got a really shifty running back, but like I said, we have like 12 D linemen rolling in, so like waves of D linemen that know how to play. There should be no drop offs. So stopping the run is our biggest thing right now.
When you're facing a quarterback that can sling it like
Yeah.
Holstein, how important is it for you guys to get conventional pass rush and pressure against
So
him?
it's very important. We got to keep that pocket sound, like always. Get after him. I know he doesn't feel comfortable when he's in a sound pocket, so we're going to definitely get that handled.
Kevin, what are you saying about amongst your defensive linemen, amongst yourselves? You're coming into this game, losing 2 in a row and everything. You got to hope that the bleeding can stop right here, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, we're a brotherhood, so we play for each other. You know, a couple bad games, watch film, learn from it. It's a new game. It's another chance.
I want to ask, just as it relates to the, film review sessions, I know that Jeff Collins has shared with us that, he does the green dot, red dot, all that, and he'll even put up some red dots of himself, like a play call that maybe he's kind of hard on himself about.
Yeah.
What does it mean when just your defensive coordinator's taking that
It
accountability?
means a lot. For a person to admit their fault, that means a lot. And that's why I have so much respect for Jeff Collins and Ted Markino, because he does the same thing. So there's a lot of respect there for sure. I love playing for both of them.
You might get Kamen back this week. We're told that he's being monitored. If he is healthy and back to his usual self, how does that change you guys?
Well, it changes a lot. Like, we got another brother back, so it's just, it feels like, having him back is definitely going to help us a lot. For
Does
sure.
that kind of make the defense whole? And that's sort of what's been, not the other guys have done a solid job, but Kamen's on a different level.
Yeah.
Having him back, would that make the defense sort of whole again?
Yeah, because like I just said, that's just another brother. That's another family member on the team that can really play. So having him is definitely great for sure.
I understand that he's still been a vocal presence, just leading from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Could you describe that from us, and then just how's that been different from having him actually out there?
It's not really much of a difference for real. Just because we want to play for him more, because he tells us he can't be out there, but he's there for us mentally. So it means a lot. It means a lot more for sure, just to play for him, knowing that he can't be out there.
Getting back to what you said about that snowball effect, do you feel like the mental side of any sport, but particularly football that's so physical, do you feel like the mental side of the sport is sometimes underrated by people who have never put pads and a helmet on, that you're not out there?
Yeah, for sure. It's just like I said, if you let the last play affect you, me, we got 600 pounds coming at you next play. So you have to have short-term memory or you're gonna get gored for sure. That's what Ted always say. So you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay locked in.
Gourd, that's a great word for it. How do you think you're playing this year? Your last call. Oh, Adam, go ahead. You just got in. Go ahead, man.
He deferred?
I've been hogging it already.
He refers to the second half.
You got to get your Adam Smith fix.
When you talk about brotherhood type stuff,
Yeah.
these last 2 weeks, what have the conversations looked like for you guys, just as players? Coming out of the JMU game, as bad as that was, and then obviously you're in a great position at Duke, and it sort of falls apart. What have you all been talking about just amongst yourselves?
And the brotherhood is all the love, but also has to be a lot of toughness. So we point each other out when we notice something that's going bad, or knowing that they're not playing to our standard. So there's a lot of toughness, but it's all out of love. I'll be tough on one of the younger guys because I know they can play better. So that's definitely it for sure.
AJ, thank you.
Yeah.
You guys good with
You got any more, Adam?
I have another one, yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, we'll do one more of that.
Some people are saying, same old UNC defense. The 70 points against JMU, how the second half went. Do you think this is going to turn out differently as opposed to some of the years past where it's gone wrong and it's kept going wrong? And what would give you that confidence? Because I'm assuming you do, obviously, maybe it'll be different. What gives you that confidence or that belief?
I gotta go back to the brotherhood. From the outside, I can see how people see it, but from the inside, just seeing how hard these guys work and how hard that we are getting better, and how hard we're pushing each other, I see changing a lot differently.
All right, thanks, KJ.
All right, appreciate it.